What is up, guys? Welcome back to another chess video. It's been, about 2 weeks off. Christmas and the New Year's came up, and so there was a big gap there, and I'm not sure if you guys can still hear my voice, but I've been sick for about the past week or so. So it's been long, but I hope everyone had a great Christmas and a Merry New Year, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. But I'm about to leave again. Quick announcement. I'm going on a trip, so I will not be in town to film any videos for about the next week. But my goal is to have another video uploaded by next week. But other than that, the series doesn't stop. This is episode 3 of my road to 1500 ELO. And, this game actually was a really good game. So, with that, let's start the review. So, basically, to start the game, we went with the classic King's Knights variation opening. We both pushed our king pawns forward. I'm trying to stick to basic opening principles of get the knights out, get your pawns out, control the center. Nothing really new there. Just got my knights out, and we just had a pretty normal development game. Very simple. So with this next move, he started to push my bishop out of the way. So I decided to move my bishop back. He started pushing my bishop there. So I made sure I had a hidey hole for him to get away at. And if you kind of look at it, I was okay with this because it kind of weakens this whole structure over here. Like, I know he's not going to be castling queen's side probably. If I had to imagine, he'd castle king side. But a lot of pawn movement over here kind of weakens the support here in the center because now all he has is the queen defending there and he can't get his knight out here. So totally fine with this, and my bishop is still providing pressure here. Sorry about that. So as I thought, he would castle the other side, and I did really like this position here because my bishop can see there, and I always have the option to move my knight there, which I believe I did do. I'm filming this a couple hours later after the game, so my memory's a little foggy on where I was at during the game, but I'm doing my best to explain my moves and my thought processes between each one. So obviously I did move there, just trying to add a little more pressure here. Get the bishop here, maybe provide a check, push the king into the corner, and win a pawn. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. So, did that move. He tried to push my knight away, and this is where I struck with the knight, attacking the queen there. Also applying some pressure here. And then when I move my knight away, I can move it here or here, and that'd be discover check. So I had a good options. I could go there, maybe trade the bishop for the knight or whatever else I want to do. Win the pawn and get away. He decided to take my knight, which absolutely the right move. It was 6 pieces for 6 pieces because I took the pawn, but honestly not the worst mistake I could have made. Probably would go, if I could go back, I wouldn't make that trade. Usually 2 pieces for a rook and a pawn is not the best outcome, but it wasn't losing by any means, so I was completely fine with that. Anyway, losing all my pieces on the left side of the board, my bishop and my knight, I decided I needed to start getting this bishop out, maybe get my queen into play, maybe try and get this knight down here. So he attacks my knight. I'm just going to ignore that. I would be totally fine with this pawn moving here, so I could open up this aisle for my rook, So I wasn't really too concerned about this knight dying. Not like it was a big deal, but I did want to stop his knight from coming here and potentially opening that up, because that could be bad attack on my queen, and he could do the same thing that I just did to him. So let's not make the same mistakes, He took my knight, I took with my pawn. Completely fine. Just had a simple trade. He starts to attack, and this is a move I thought on for a very long time. It took me about a minute and a half to find this move because honestly I didn't know where to go. I wanted to attack this knight, but there was no way with this pawn here. The queen could come out, but it's not really a great move. And then I realized that this pawn could push forward, right? He takes, I could do either a bishop take or I could do a rook take because it's double defended. And then if he doesn't take there, then I could, and he takes here, I could take with pawn, and now that's discovered check on the king, and that is exactly what I did in this position here. And I think this was the best move by the computer as well. But as you can see, the pawn is attacking the knight, and the rook is here, so he can't move that knight out of the way. So he checks me. He's just trying to delay the inevitable. I have to move. I did think about pushing here, and maybe I did do that, but I'm pretty sure I just pushed the king back. Yes. So I did think about this, but I wanted to take that pawn later. Just sort of a trade to get the pawn for the pawn. Completely fine. So I did not want to push this pawn forward to block the queen's attack on my king. He moves the knight there, so I guess he can recapture here. I took, he took, and then I took again. And so now I'm threatening to push this pawn and just get back into the exact same position. So with this move, I expected my opponent to basically move his king, basically, you know, like get out of this position for himself. And as you can see, I know one of the biggest problems I had last time is that I was just moving too quickly. If you could look at the side here on the board, it is much longer per move. I mean, we got to the point in the middle game, like the early game went pretty fast, but the middle game, some moves I took 2 minutes to think about. So definitely got better in that time aspect. I only had 11 minutes left, which is a lot of time. But he moved his queen, so obviously now I had to figure something out here, because my thought process was he's attacking here, which is defended, and then he's attacking here, so I had to defend this pawn somehow. And so with this move, I was just trying to see if I could get this pawn line set up here, like maybe I could do something like that, push the pawn, get a pawn here, and then push this pawn, and then also trade a queen, because I'm up in position now. I'm up 3 points, so let's start trading off some pieces. I think I can win. I have 2 rooks and a bishop. He decides to not do the queen trade. He starts attacking these pieces on this side of the board. Not exactly sure what he thought he saw over there, but I'm going to get us into that exact same position and do exactly what I said I would do, which is attack the knight again. So he's basically put himself in that exact same position by not moving his king. He blocks with bishop, doesn't stop me from taking the knight, and then he attacks my rook here, basically attacking for almost checkmate. Very concerning position, not a fan of it. But he left his bishop completely hanging here. He got too focused on attacking me that he forgot that this piece was completely hanging, and it was a blunder. So I took that. He checked me. I was like, fine, let's see if we can do this queen trade again. I'm now up 9 points at the game, by the way. So I'm completely fine just trading off queens. He declines my queen trade again. And now here he's attacking my rook, my pawn, and my pawn. So I decided the only move I could make was discover check with this pawn here. I know, completely surprised, but discover check here. King has to take or move somewhere else. That's what he does, is take. I move my rook. This rook's now defending here and here, along with this bishop who's still defending here. He moves his rook. And then, I cannot remember the move I made. I think it had something to do with the bishop, though. Yes, bishop attacks the queen, that is right. That is a pin on the king, and that's, I remember seeing this move now. So yes, took me a little bit, like 6 seconds to realize this in game, but that is a pin on the king. And now it was all started from this rook move here, defending there. So now his queen is completely trapped. He tries to take, well, delay the inevitable. He's like, okay, I'll attack your queen. Now it's a take, and then he failed to realize that I could just take his rook, and we're still in that same position of the pin, and this is where my opponent decided to resign. So, really great game. I believe the computer said that I played like a 1600, which is, you know, a great feeling, you know. I think I had one great move, 11 best, 4 excellence. I had a couple inaccuracies in there, a couple moves in the middle where it wasn't great. I'm more than happy to show, actually, what the computer thought. So as you can see, he was completely winning right about this move when I made the move with the knight. This was a very bad move. I don't remember what it wanted me to do, but maybe it was this. No. Either way, I don't know what the best move was here. But this move was very poor. He was winning completely here all the way up until this pawn move. And this was really what shifted the game, I believe. And even the computer agrees. But yeah. It was a great game overall. Really enjoyed it. And great way to come back to episode 3. I think we are now 2 for 2 on the series. So 2 wins, 2 losses. Not bad. Anyway, we'll keep this train rolling. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you know, I think there's a couple things we could take away from this. Is, you know, it was a great game, play slower, and then maybe in the middle game, focus a little less on the attack and on the defensive side. But honestly, this was a really good game. It's going to be hard to take away a lot from this. Stick with opening principles, stick with just basic development, and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully, for episode 4. And if you guys have any recommendations or anything you want me to do in the videos in the future, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to implement some of your ideas. And yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.